When you take a look around you, no matter where you stand, you see proud families, friends and neighbors, sharing gifts and helping hands. We're people helping people, and we're proud that we can say we're always getting better and growing stronger every day. Taking pride in Mobile, haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going, taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. There's a feeling of excitement, you can see it everywhere. The pride of our whole region is the heartbeat that we share. The heartbeat that we share. Taking pride in Mobile. Haven't you noticed? We've got it all right here at home. Nothing can stop us. Taking pride in where we're going. Taking pride in who we are. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far. Mobile, show your pride. Together we'll go far.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo woo! Very cool junction. There's old Uncle Joe moving kind of slow at the junction. Woo woo! Very cool junction.
Highway 87 in Milton is partially blocked due to an accident. Also, watch for an accident with injury and road blockage north Old Palafox Highway at East Burgess Road. And construction work in the left lane, I-10 East between Wilcox Road and the Alabama-Florida line. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Uncle Henry, where are you at? We looking for you.
I'm right here. Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. This hour, very excited to welcome to the Uncle Henry Show some guests. I've got the mayor of Chickasaw, Alabama, Tyron Colby. Tyron, hello.
Hello, everyone. How's it going today?
Well, it should be going great. We've got the mayor of Chickasaw in here.
I am doing very well today. You know, we have some good news.
And we'll get to that now. And you also brought someone with you, an additional guest that has me just as excited. Introduce the listeners to your guest.
My friend, Miss Deborah Hodges, the owner, or one of the owners of Hall's Meats. And they are a long-term business of Chickasaw, Alabama, and they've had some misfortune, but looks like that's about to turn now, and they are selecting Chickasaw as their rehome for their business.
All right. Well, hey, Deborah, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Well, and as I was telling you before we went on the air, one of the first sponsors of the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM many, many, many years ago, I guess over 22-something years ago, was Hall's Meats. And I used to get just bags of sausages and cheese from Hall's.
Hall's Red Hot.
Yes,
Can't beat 'em.
indeed. Yes, indeed. So I love having Hall's in here. And we're going to get to your good news a little bit later. But Tyron, explain to the listener why you wanted to bring Hall's Meats with you on the Uncle Henry Show.
Well, Hall's, as I said, had, our city is 80 years old, and Hall's is just as, their business is 80 years old also, and they've been in Chickasaw that entire length of time.
Yes, but that's not why you brought her
That's
here.
not why I brought her. What happened was that when their building burned back in September, they were, it was very unfortunate, and they were looking for another facility. And Deborah, you correct me if I tell this wrong, but I don't know if Chickasaw was the first site to maybe consider.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't.
We looked
It was
around.
not.
You
It
looked
was not.
around.
We looked around.
As responsible entrepreneurs should
That's
do.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And anyway, I was kind of pestering them, I think, and they never would return my emails or anything like that.
I wasn't talking to anybody at that point.
They were, and she explained that to us. You've went through a devastating loss. You don't want to talk to anyone,
Right.
And I hadn't not become mayor yet. I actually had just won I was in a runoff, but I was there the day that their building had burned, and I wanted to reach out and speak to them because, I felt like, they needed support, and I wanted to, at least just from a citizen standpoint, because I was just a citizen then, just let them know how much we cared for them. But I've always had this thought in my head that Hall's belonged in Chickasaw. That's where they started.
Right.
They lived there for 80 years. That's where
Okay.
they belong.
All right.
And I just felt like we needed to have a conversation about that. And anyway, I'm a spiritual person, I guess, if you want to call it that, and Deborah is too. And I'm not ashamed to say that I believe in the Lord and that I have prayers. And anyway, I was very prayerful about it. I just felt like that, I wish I could have an opportunity to talk with him. Well, lo and behold, she calls me up one day. And I think it was because maybe some things that they were looking at did not go as planned.
We just were never settled.
Yep.
And we had been looking at this same location literally for 10 years.
All right. Well, let's explain to people why you brought her in here. So Hall's has decided
Right.
to move back to
They
Chickasaw.
moved back to Chickasaw, and they wanted this piece of property. When you come into Chickasaw on Lee Street, the first thing that you see is a blighted building. It's an old gas station that was shut down.
All right. Now, when you come off the interstate on Lee Street, there
Right.
is a pre-existing gas station, convenience store on
Yes,
one side,
right.
and then the other side
It's an empty
is
gas station.
is where you want to go, right?
That's where we want to
Yes,
go, in the empty building.
Right.
Okay.
And so, long story short, when they began to try to procure this piece of property, they found out there was something called a restricted covenant on this deed, on the land deed, something that they had not heard of, something I had not heard of. I didn't learn about this until I become a mayor. I didn't even know this was a thing. And this covenant had restrictions in it that would prevent them for life, not just for a specified period of time, but for an eternity, that whoever bought that property could not sell anything on that land that competed with the business across the street.
Okay. So is there a sausage? There's not a sausage business across the street, though.
No, it is not.
Right.
But
It is a gas station convenience store.
it is.
But they did not want. They don't. So there's a deed preventing Hall's Meats from opening up and selling meat.
Well, not necessarily Hall's Meat, but just
There is that type of deed. It's called a scorched earth deed. These deeds actually consist all over the country, and they're done by almost every major corporation that owns land. So when they leave and they abandon these buildings, they put these restrictions on them. And one of the most frequent restrictions you see is that nobody can sell food from that land, not for a period of years, not for 2 years, not for 3 years, but forever. because there's no time limit on it. And since in Alabama and most states, if there's no time limit on a deed restriction, that means it is infinite. So it locks this land up forever, and the unintended consequence of these corporations, because I think today we learned they never thought about it. The unintended consequences, they're leaving these blighted buildings in these cities where they're moving out. The cities are not doing well. They've lost that revenue. They've lost the property taxes and the jobs and all the things that go with that business. And that building turns out to be blighted, but nobody else can buy it because they've left those restrictions on it. In some cases, and I told you the name, Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Yeah, a town, Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Woonsocket, Rhode Island is a town of 45,000 people. It had 2 grocery stores. One grocery store moved out. When they moved out, they left a scorched earth deed restriction. So now that town is actually in litigation, but they have 1 grocery store for 45,000 people.
And nobody can go in across the street or anywhere near there.
Nobody can go into the old building. It happened in Bellingham, Washington. The city of Bellingham actually sued. They sued Albertsons. It's in, that's a court case you can look up. And they won. And so somebody was able to go into that Albertsons store. But you have to realize the amount of investment to go into a building, if you've got one sitting there, it makes perfect sense to go into this empty building than to buy and rebuild. And you've got cities like Chickasaw, which is basically landlocked.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, we've got to go into a break here, but you in essence want to have Hall's Meats at that corner.
Yes.
But this scorched earth restriction looks at you as competing with a gas station. And so that is blocking, and Tyron, that blocks a lot of potential businesses from that corner.
And that's why I'm here. I'm concerned about that because as mayor, this can't stand, and I want to bring awareness. Now, we're fortunate. We're fortunate in the fact that we have an amicable company that we're working with. They are trying to work with us, so we're thankful about that. But it could be just the opposite.
Okay, we're going to pick this up when we come back, learning more about Chickasaw and maybe even about sausage. As we continue, Tyron Colvin, Mayor of Chickasaw, with Deborah Hodges of Hall's Meats, as we continue here on the Uncle Henry Show.
The Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And watch for a crash partially blocking the roadway East Burgess Road at Sanders Avenue in Pensacola. And also on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59. It's an 18-minute drive. Also, it's slow on Highway 59 south from I-10 to Gulf Shores, a 50-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
When you need hardware, remember Greer's. Yes, Greer's has Ace Hardwares at their Cottage Hill Road location, their Bay Minette location, and the Greer's Old Bay Market on the way to Dauphin Island. In fact, the Old Bay Market Greer's has a full-service lumber yard with treated and untreated lattice, fence posts, dock poles, and much more. And they offer free delivery to your home or contractor job site. Get more info at Greers.com.
And remember, Greer's got it. We guarantee it.
At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists are here to help you look and feel your best. From advanced laser treatments to medical-grade skincare products and today's most innovative procedures, we've got you covered. And right now, you can save on great products and procedures, including $40 off Juvo. Plus, save $150 off Cool Sculpting. Call Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center or schedule online at advanceddermclinic.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-869-2045 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-869-2045. That's 800-869-2045. What do you have to lose? Call 800-869-2045. Again, 800-869-2045.
It's not just a radio app. It's what's happening right now.
It's on.
On the iHeartRadio app, you're not just listening. You're in it.
You better believe it.
From breaking news.
Splashdown confirmed.
To what's happening in your community.
Local, national, and world.
Live moments.
Impacting millions.
Real voices.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest.
Amazing prizes. Plus, talk to your favorite hosts using the TalkBack mic.
I have loved always hearing you guys.
This is where culture comes alive.
I listen everywhere on the app.
Download the iHeartRadio app today.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and if it's your dream to own a boat, do what so many Mobile County people do. Go see my friends at Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union. They finance new and pre-owned boats with up to 100% financing. Terms up to 5 years for lower payments, no application fee, and fast local answers. You can apply now at GulfCoastFCU.org. Call 251-438-7464 or stop by a branch. Loans subject to approval. That's Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union.
From the Peden Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Weather Center.
Active showers and storms are expected this evening and tonight, especially prior to midnight tonight, with a rain chance of 80%. We'll have overnight lows in the mid-60s. Scattered showers and storms maybe around tomorrow morning through midday. A 40% chance. We'll have highs in the upper 70s. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith of this iHeart radio station.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you've priced custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710, WNTM, guests in studio. Before I get back to my guests real quick, this evening at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be at Revive Church out in West Mobile, 601 Ziegler Circle East, for Killer Bees Christian Comedy Revival. Would love to see you out there at Revive Church. That is tonight, 7 o'clock. Killer Bees Christian Comedy Revival. Find out more at ChristianComedyRevival.com. And again, come see us at 601 Ziegler Circle East. Now, I've got the mayor of Chickasaw, Alabama in here, Tyron Colvin. And I've got Deborah Hodges in here from Hall's Meats. And we were talking about how Hall's Meats wants to open up some kind of facility right there on Wesley Street, right when you get off the interstate. But there is a special restricted deed. There's just some rule that you can't sell anything edible across the street from that convenience store gas station. Now, if you were allowed in there, what would it look like? What would it be like?
So if we were allowed in there, we want to redesign that building into something like an Oldsmobile style building with maybe some wrought iron, have a little porch on the front, paint it up, just make it look like it's been there for 80 years. Make it look really cute. There are huge windows in there, have it light and bright and airy. We want to sell Hall sausage and garlic bologna and Red Hots. But we have also been wholesaling meat for our entire time. We were actually wholesaling meat before we were making sausage. So we want to sell our wholesale meat. But as Chickasaw, over the years, has lost its grocery store. And so we were already selling groceries to the neighborhood in limited amounts. But we didn't have a place for them to shop. So now that we have to rebuild anyway, we've always wanted to build a retail because we do have so many retail customers. Now we want to build a retail shop and be able to add on to the vegetables that we sell. We'll be able to sell fresh vegetables, frozen vegetables, and have it be not not a full-fledged grocery store, but a nice grocery store where you can come and buy what you need to go home and make supper and cook for your family.
Okay, so not what I would consider big competition for a gas station convenience store where people are stopping in and they're grabbing a 16-ounce beverage and a vape and maybe a Slim Jim. This is much different. And how would it look? Because that corner, Tyron, you're the mayor of Chickasaw, and this is one of the first impressions people get of Chickasaw is that corner. So how would it look?
We hope it's going to look beautiful. It's going to be clean.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be a hole in the roof. Power supply is going to be restored.
Good.
We'll have lighting. We'll upgrade the parking lot a little bit. We're going to build our plant next door so that we can make our sausage right next door, and then the two buildings will be sort of connected so that we'll have all of that space that we're actually taking up. I believe it's 5 lots altogether.
Wow, okay.
It will be a beautiful site. It will be a beautiful look. And not only will it look good, Chickasaw will smell delicious.
Yes.
Every time that you walk, every time you drive into Chickasaw, you're like,
yes,
I'm home.
So, but where does it stand now? Because this all sounds great. It would be a net positive for Chickasaw. It sounds like it might even, if it becomes a destination for some people, it sounds like it might even drive some business to the people across the street if they're gassed up or something.
We have people come literally from all over the country. The phone for Hall Navy still rings to my cell phone. I get calls all day, every day from New York. I had a lady from Georgia say, do I need to come down and help y'all rebuild? This was last week. I get calls on Saturdays, Sundays, every day from people in Mobile and literally across the country.
So where does this stand? Because this sounds like it would be so good, not just for Halls, but so good for the city of Chickasaw. Where does this stand now?
Finally today, thanks to the mayor selling Chickasaw like nobody's business, which is his job, and he did a great sales pitch for us today. We have finally reached out to the right people. We found the right people that we need to talk to, and we are hopeful and that at 10:30 tomorrow we're going to have this settled, and that they will release those restrictions and we'll be able to rebuild. But it takes a matter. That's what's so hard with these scorched earth deeds, because I started trying to reach somebody in January. I thought I had reached the right person. I had not reached the right person. The wrong people and I have been discussing this for 3 months. It really got nowhere. It almost fell apart, but now we have the right people. But that's the trouble with these scorched earth deeds, because nobody's going in a business like that but somebody like us.
Right.
And not, if I weren't just stubborn, and it would have never happened.
Oh, absolutely. Most people in business are going to move on to they don't have time. They're moving on to the next thing.
Right.
And you want to get things going.
I want to get things going, and that place is the perfect place for us. After we looked everywhere, and we did look all around, we looked all over the Mobile, that place on I-65 is just absolutely the right place for us. It's easy to get in and out of. We have trucks coming in. There's room for our trucks. We deliver to all of our local grocery stores. We deliver ourselves. So our little delivery van comes and goes 2 or 3 times a day and refills and goes back out. So it's just the ideal place for us, and it makes the most sense for us. It's perfectly suited for what we want to do. There's just the right amount of land. There's not too little and not too much. It's just the right size.
What? But this has been such a long process. How confident are you that tomorrow morning you're going to get the answers you need and everything's going to move forward?
After the mayor helped us today, I'm reasonably confident.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And Tyron Colvin, thanks to. What did you do today? Were you strong-arming people?
I put them in a headlock and give them a noogie. That's what I did. No, I did not. It was nothing like that at all. It was like what Deborah said. We just needed to get to the right people, and I reached out, made a phone call, and I wanted to go to the top. I went straight to the top. I told them in my correspondence I was not going to do anything on email or chat. We're going to talk. And that's what we did.
Well, that's it's great to hear that worked. And this is one of those things that sounds like if you just anybody reasonable protecting that corporation would still say, "Oh, you're not really competition. Go right ahead. You're actually improving the neighborhood for our business."
Well, I asked for a Teams meeting, and I brought the entire Halls family in to our conference room, and I wanted them to see who they were dealing with.
Oh, okay. Now, see, that was great, Tyron. That was a great move.
Well,
I'm sure.
I wanted them to see me, and I wanted to see them. I wanted to look them in the eye. I wanted to see if they were, what they were about and everything. And it just, I think we were dealing with some reasonable people, and we're very hopeful. We felt really good and positive about everything today. We felt like we had some movement in a right
and the
direction.
mayor was able to point out that Chickasaw is got a very high poverty rate, and in this particular part of Chickasaw, Chickasaw in general is in a food desert. And so not being able to sell food in a food desert, which is where these scorched earth deed restrictions leave, there are 18.8 million people in the United States living in a food desert, which means the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, has determined they don't have access to fresh food. 18.8 million. 1.8 million of those live in Alabama, and of those living in Alabama, 500,000 of them are children. So it's important to be able to get fresh food.
We are up on a break. We got news headlines coming up. We're going to have some news from Tyron in the next half hour of the show. Real quick before we go to break, if you get the answer you want tomorrow, you think you'll be open by the end of the year?
If we get the answer we want tomorrow, we'll have the retail side open probably in 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks?
And we'll have sausage going. We've already got the contractors lined up. We are ready to go.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
And watch for a crash partially blocking the roadway East Burgess Road at Sanders Avenue in Pensacola. And also on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59. It's an 18-minute drive. Also, it's slow on Highway 59 south from I-10 to Gulf Shores, a 50-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A man is now facing 8 counts of capital murder charges in the Wilmer family murder case. Mobile County deputies escorted William Graham Oliver in a white jumpsuit, his hands cuffed, after he was charged in the deaths of 17-year-old Keziah Luker, her unborn baby, 46-year-old Lisa Fields, and 12-year-old Thomas Cordell Jr. Sheriff Paul Birch saying Oliver has known the family for years and was inside their home on Alba Moody Road Sunday night looking for something. He is confident investigators have the right man, but they're not releasing a motive yet. Funeral services for Lisa, TJ, and Keziah were today at Serenity Memorial Gardens. Several of Alabama's Big Ten mayors are urging voters to back a constitutional amendment to strengthen Aniah's law. The change on the May 19th primary ballot would expand the list of crimes where judges can deny bail, adding some weapons offenses and conspiracy to commit murder. The mayors say it's about closing dangerous loopholes and giving judges more tools to keep repeat violent offenders off the streets. In Mobile, City Council approved a new animal services building to replace the old shelter downtown. The new facility on the West I-65 service road will have about 120 climate-controlled kennels, an on-site clinic and surgical unit, 8 play yards, and a dedicated adoption area. Rogers and Willard won the $6.3 million contract. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. A suspect arraigned in federal court Monday on 3 charges for a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Center, including attempting to assassinate President Trump. Vice President J.D. Vance tells Fox's Will Cain show he was escorted out after Secret Service agents told him and the president it was time to leave.
There's a lot of commotion. You kind of hear some loud noises. I had no idea what it was. And before I had any idea what was going on, I started seeing people sort of duck under their tables or respond to what was going on far in the back of the ballroom.
President Trump speaking from the Oval Office today about King Charles III's trip to the United States.
I think he's an unbelievable king. And by the way, an unbelievable queen.
They are a great couple.
The king making a historic address to a joint session of Congress hours before President Trump hosted him and Queen Consort Camilla for a state dinner at the White House today. The king and queen are in New York. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Laura Pringle. You know that feeling at the kitchen table, going through the bills, wondering how everything got so expensive? I've sat at that table. So is my husband, State Representative Chris Pringle. That's why affordability isn't just a talking point for Chris. It's personal. Chris has made it his mission to bring state investment into our district so families right here in Mobile can catch a break. More jobs mean more competition for workers, and that means better wages. Better infrastructure means lower costs for businesses that serve our neighborhoods. Chris Pringle helped expand the Port of Mobile because it keeps prices down on the goods our families buy and puts money in the pockets of working people. Chris doesn't talk about helping our community, he does it. One investment, one job, one family at a time. Take it from me. My husband, Chris Pringle, works hard for us in Montgomery because your family matters to him just as much as ours.
Paid for by Chris Pringle Campaign, 4 Princess Anne Road, Mobile, Alabama, 36608.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $8 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Uncle Henry's show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. My guests, we have Deborah Hodges from Hall's Meats. We have Tyron Colvin, the mayor of Chickasaw. He's going to be telling us some good news. Now, this show also on YouTube, live on YouTube. And Deborah, all the YouTube people are asking me to get meat.
I will be so glad when I can do just that.
Well, right when we went into break, you said that if this thing's if it gets approved, you could be up and running within 6 to 8 weeks. That amazes me.
Not with sausage, just with our wholesale and retail.
Okay.
But we should have sausage. If we can get going, we've got everything sitting on go. So we should have sausage hopefully by Thanksgiving.
Okay, nice.
So we're, obviously we have a good mayor who's going to make that building process smooth for us.
Yes.
So we are, we have the plans drawn up. We are ready to go.
Well, I hope it all works out exactly the way you wanted to.
Thank you.
And it opens. I hope it for not just for you, but just for the people that live right around there. Because I know I've been through Chickasaw enough and around Chickasaw. Right there beyond that exit, there are some wonderful streets, wonderful neighborhoods
Chickasaw,
there.
At one time, used to be the darling jewel of Mobile County. And I used to live there at that time. I was in the community when it was like that. I've seen it. I know what it's like. So I have a little bit of perspective of where I want to take it and what we're trying to get back to. Now, we may not be exactly back the way it was back in the golden days, but we've got to take advantage of every opportunity that we have. And that was the reason I ran for mayor in the first place, is I saw so many missed opportunities. I'm like, we need to capitalize on some of these great opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities in Chickasaw. Now, tell me, you put out a press release today. You got some kind of grant for Chickasaw. Tell people the big news for Chickasaw.
Well, Uncle Henry, you are breaking the news here on, this is the first media that we're breaking it on, but Chickasaw got an award today, or well, actually Monday, for $6.95 million to improve our port. Now, why is that important? Because
tell us.
Well, Chickasaw, a lot of people don't know this, but the reason we exist in the first place is because we used to build ships in Chickasaw back during World War II. And even before that. But that's what Chickasaw is known for, or that's why Chickasaw exists today, was because of that. And it's an 80-year port, and has, it's seen better days, and it needs to be revitalized. And if we revitalize that port, what do you think that means? That means builders will come, plenty of opportunity. And being mayor, I found out that the maritime business is a huge business. Of course, it's another world that I never had much thought about.
Right.
And now that I'm mayor, I'm seeing, wow, what a tremendous, again, I talked about missed opportunities. That would be a missed opportunity if we didn't focus on trying to get business back to Chickasaw from the maritime.
So the $6 million grant, what kind of stuff is it going to go for at the port?
It's going to be to repair the docks. Right now, they can only do certain size vessels. They can't really do everything that they want to do. And with this grant, we'll be able to bring in larger ships, be able to build more, build bigger, because there's a weight limit on these on the piers and the docks and everything. And right now, because they are really in such bad shape, they can't attract that. What I've been told is that the state docks is full, Ingalls is full, all around us is full, and there's people that are looking for places to get work done. And so Chickasaw is a perfect place because we have that infrastructure there. We just now have to make it appealing and let the world know. And this grant here is going to let a lot of people know that we mean business.
Well, congratulations on getting that grant. That is, and as you mentioned, a lot of people don't think of the maritime history of Chickasaw at all.
That's right.
But you're there on the water.
Yep. Well, and this wasn't just for transparency here. This didn't happen by my hand. I have a grant writer. Her name is Jessica James, and she's the one that's been working hard on this, and she was the one that helped us get this. But we were able to give her some boxes to check that she wasn't able to check in the past. One of the things was that Chickasaw really needed an industrial board or a port authority. So when I become mayor, that was one of the first acts that I undertook, was to develop and to create that board for Chickasaw. And that gives us some credibility by having that it would have not have given us if we would have not created that board.
Hey, you've never been in elected office before, right?
Never.
You've been a successful business guy with BIS office systems. Now you're a mayor. I bet the learning curve is something. You must learn something every day that you had no idea existed.
I think you're right. It is a learning curve, but as I've had some time in this role, it's occurred to me, and I can see how important it is to have. You really need to have some political background or either a business background. I didn't have any political background, but I have some background, obviously, running a business. My company, operates in 3 states, but I started from nothing, and I know what it's like to struggle and to work hard, and I know what it takes to move the needle, as they say, and a city is really no different. It's a business, really, when you look at it like that. And so I just treat things in the city like a business, and it requires, the city needs to be marketed. If you don't market your city, it won't go anywhere. You've got to have people that are, on your team that are effective.
Right.
And it's all the same. It's just different.
And there's customer service elements to it.
Very much so. And that is a big thing because in my campaign, I campaigned heavily on that. I felt like maybe we could be more friendly. And I want Chickasaw to be one of the easiest places that you can ever think of doing business, because we want to treat you fairly, but we also want to do things correctly too. And right now I'm catching a little heat because I got some pressure on the crime and blight. I'm boarding up houses, and I'm running criminals out of here and everything. And so if you're in that kind of business, you're not too happy with me right now. But it's part of the whole process. We want to clean up our house, get our house in order, and be so attractive that businesses like Deborah starts coming back and looking at Chickasaw, because we really have the infrastructure to be a great place not only to live but to work and to play.
Well, and Deborah, it looks like Halls is really a blessing to Chickasaw, that you really want that location.
We want to be that. The thing that really brought us back were the people, because we know them. We've been dealing with them. We've got people who used to come there when they were little kids and talk to Mr. Hall in his office, and they've grown up there. They've watched our kids grow up there, and they don't have a place to get groceries from. We started taking SNAP benefits when we bought it because so many people were coming up there hungry, and because they don't have a place to go get anything to eat. And so we started adding in, and we really just want to be able to serve them better.
Well, I just feel like there's got to be more businesses that are going to be interested in Chickasaw, because as I drove to Chickasaw this past Saturday afternoon, and I just thought there is money to be made here.
Yes, absolutely.
There's money to be made in Chickasaw.
Well, see, you could be a mayor, because that's exactly what I saw as a citizen. I saw all that. Mayor Henry.
I can say things, but it's not the same as doing what you like. For example, you negotiating with that corporation and having the Halls family in, so that they had to look at the people they were saying no to and all that kind of stuff. That's a little different, better level than I'm on.
Well,
that's pretty good.
It's common sense for me. It's and maybe it's I take it for granted or whatever. But being in the business world for so long and everything, it's just kind of like that's just the way you do things. And to this day, in my personal business, people may find this interesting, whatever. But I do something called cold calling. I take out my business card and I go door to door to this day, and I hand out business cards and introduce myself. And that's a lost art, I believe.
Well,
that's very important still.
Well, that is something that I started doing that myself about 12 years ago, and I didn't have a business card. I had different swag, and would just go cold call businesses.
Yep. And it's effective.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And you meet some interesting people.
That's right. But, that's how I built my business. And like I say, I started from zero. I had nothing. I walked off of a job making really, really good money, but my wife was behind me, and we decided we were just going to jump off and do it, because she said, what are you going to do different as an owner versus an employee? I said, nothing. She said, let's go.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with our final segment with Mayor Tyron Colvin of Chickasaw and Deborah Hodges of Halls Meats. Back after the break with more Uncle Henry Show.
Still have an accident partially in the roadway in Pensacola, East Burgess Road at Sanders Avenue. Looking slow on Highway 31 North from Spanish Fort to Highway 59. It's an 18-minute drive. Crews are also doing work in the left lane, I-10 East, between Wilcox Road and the Alabama-Florida line. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hey, get your pool ready for fun during the grand reopening sale at Pool & Spa Superstore in West Mobile. Uncle Henry here with Thomas Irving of Pool & Spa Superstore. And Thomas, I know you've got over 20 years of experience in the business, but now you own Pool & Spa Superstore, don't you?
I wanted to keep the business locally owned, locally operated. We're not only that, though, we're also locally invested. We care about this community. My whole team is from Mobile. Our kids go to school here. We do business with other local businesses. We are involved in other local charities. I think that's very important, and that is our plan for the future, to always keep Mobile front and center in what we do.
Pool & Spa Superstore in West Mobile has moved, and they're celebrating their grand reopening with great deals. Go west on Cottage Hill, then take a right on Dawes Road, and you can't miss Pool & Spa Superstore. Or visit online at mypoolandspa.com.
Why pinch pennies when you can save dollars at Pool & Spa Superstore?
At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists are here to help you look and feel your best. From advanced laser treatments to medical-grade skincare products and today's most innovative procedures, we've got you covered. And right now, you can save on great products and procedures, including $40 off Juvo. Plus, save $150 $50 off cool sculpting. Call Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center or schedule online at advanceddermclinic.com.
This is Sheriff Paul Birch. With more than 3 decades experience protecting Mobile County, I can tell you I've seen what happens when law enforcement doesn't have a partner in the Attorney General's office. Criminals walk free and our communities suffer. That's why I'm proud to support Catherine Robertson for Attorney General. Catherine is one of the fiercest advocates I know for law enforcement. Her stellar track record makes her the clear choice for Alabama's next Attorney General.
Hey, it's Catherine. I'm honored to have the support of Sheriff Paul Birch and law enforcement across Alabama. I've spent the last 10 years fighting for Alabama families, and I'll continue to stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals, continue to support law enforcement, and protect girls' sports from the sick trans agenda. Visit CatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-869-2045 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-869-2045. That's 800-869-2045. What do you have to lose? Call 800-869-2045. Again, 800-869-2045.
For more information about contests on this station, go to newsradio710.com/rules.
Active showers and storms are expected this evening and tonight, especially prior to midnight tonight, with a rain chance of 80%. We'll have overnight lows in the mid-60s. Scattered showers and storms maybe around tomorrow morning through midday. A 40% chance. We'll have highs in the upper 70s. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith of this iHeartRadio station.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you've priced custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry's show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Our final segment with the mayor of Chickasaw, Tyron Colvin, and Deborah Hodges of Hall's Meats, Hall's Sausage. Now, before we're out of time, Deborah, how can people keep up with Hall's Sausage?
They can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are at Hall's Sausage and WholesaleMeats.com. Or not. Hall's Sausage and Wholesale Meats on Facebook and Instagram. And we have a website. We don't use it too much. It's for mainly shipping out to all those places across the country, but mainly on Instagram and Facebook.
And so will you be making announcements about your plans on Facebook and Instagram?
I will, but y'all will probably hear me squealing.
Okay.
With absolute joy when this is finally done. So that noise will be me, hopefully screaming with joy tomorrow. So.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm praying for your success.
We appreciate that.
Praying
That's
for your success.
The best thing you can do for us.
Well, and it's going to be not just good for you and your family, but it's so good for that neighborhood and so good for Chickasaw and Mobile County. And Tyron Colvin, in our remaining moments, what is going on in Chickasaw? What do you want people to know?
We have quite a few things that are up in the air. Some things that we're doing right now, we got to focus on eradicating blight and crime, and our city is always currently being beautified. We have to just keep focused on that all the time. But we still deal with potholes, pests, and citizen concerns and things like that.
Yeah.
But we have a project that I'm wanting to put back together at Brooks Park, and I've got the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission looking at it for feasibility. But if we get the green light on that, we want to develop even better our Brooks Park. We want to become a kayak mecca.
Okay, so Chickasaw would be a good location
It'd be a
for
great location
kayakers.
because we have the infrastructure already. We have a special kayak launch. You know, there's a such thing.
Yeah.
We have that in Chickasaw, and then we also have the kayak trail that goes from Chickasaw all the way to Chickasaw Park. And it's a beautiful trail, and if you've never been on our waters, you just don't know how beautiful it is. It's just so gorgeous. And then there's sandbars along the way that you can stop and rest and swim and that sort of thing. It's just a great, Chickasaw's got really so many great bones to it. And we just have to promote it, and that's what I intend to do as mayor.
Now, I understand that you are trying to pull off a big 4th of July Independence Day celebration.
We're going to have a big 4th of July Independence Day.
Okay.
We sure are. We're going to have a brass band.
Where are you going to do it?
Right at Miller Park. It's
Okay.
right next to the fire station. And but we want to have an event that will be memorable, that people will remember for many, many years. But this is the nation's 250th birthday, but it's also the city's 80th. So we want to do something special.
So what are your initial plans for this big celebration?
The plans right now is that we want to start our festivities around 5 o'clock, and then about 6 really starting to kind of turn things up a little bit. We're looking for a watermelon sponsor. If we have a sponsor that would like to donate some watermelons to us, we'd like to have about 100 watermelons that we can, give out to people that are coming. Because what's better than, on the 4th of July is cold watermelon, right?
Amen. Yes, indeed.
We intend to invite some food trucks out and have a band, have a DJ, and then also we are currently right now having line dance classes starting May 7th. It's every Wednesday or Thursday in May.
That's a Thursday.
Yes, a Thursday. And we're going to have classes because during the 4th of July celebration, we're going to ask the audience if they'll line dance with the city. And I know it's crazy, but we started to have the theme Boots on the Ground, but we changed that. But we want to do, have you ever heard the Boots on the Ground line dance?
I have not.
Okay.
I know it would shock you, but I'm not really much of a line dancer.
Well, we wanted something that we could get the community involved in, and so we're going to ask the community to basically dance with us. I'll be up there leading the way, and we want to try to get the community to have a good time on that day and come out and celebrate the 4th like they've never done before.
All right. And if people want to keep up with Chickasaw, should they just look on social media, keep up there?
Yes, we have a Facebook page, City of Chickasaw, and then, of course, our website, cityofchickasaw.org. But Facebook's really the best thing to do. Just look up City of Chickasaw, and you'll see everything there.
Very good. Well, Tyron Colvin, praying for your success as well there in Chickasaw. Thank you for coming in on the Uncle Henry Show.
Uncle Henry, we could not thank you enough. We certainly appreciate you having us in today. This has been great.
And thank you, Tyron, for inviting Deborah Hodges of Halls. Such a great treat to have you on the show.
We appreciate it. We love being here.
Very, very good. All right, again, want to invite you. There's more show coming up after 6 o'clock. There's more Uncle Henry Show. And then I will be rushing out to Revive Church out 601 Ziegler Circle east of Mobile tonight for the Christian Comedy Revival with Killer Bees and Pastor Brian Jones. That is this evening at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it out there to 601 Ziegler Circle east, go to ChristianComedyRevival.com and watch us there. Back with more Uncle Henry Show after the news break.
This is
is Fox on Justice. Former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore sentenced to 18 months probation after pleading no contest to breaking into the apartment of his former assistant and mistress when he was fired by the school in December over their years-long affair. Prosecutors said Moore, who is married with 3 young daughters, barged into his former assistant's apartment, grabbed butter knives, and threatened to kill her and himself, saying, "My blood is on your hands." In court, Judge Cedric Simpson said the primary reason the former coach avoided a harsher sentence was because of the resilience his wife has shown in standing by his side.
The person, quite frankly, Mr. Moore, that is saving you from the full wrath of this court is the one you betrayed.
The University of Michigan has its own ongoing investigation into both the affair and the culture of its athletic department as a whole, while the attorneys for Moore's ex-assistant have suggested she may be looking to file a lawsuit against the school as well. Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Senator Katie Britt knows Alabama deserves an America First fighter in Washington.